When I in dreams behold thy fairest shade, whose shade in dreams doth wake the sleeping morn, the daytime shadow of my love betrayed lends hideous night to dreaming's fade form. Quite a beautiful little poem, isn't it? Was it written by Shakespeare? Yeats? Actually, it was written by a computer, or to be more precise, an algorithm written at Google. Another algorithm is writing novels, and another writes screenplays. An algorithm has already won several Emmys and other awards. A lot of smart people are trying to predict what this could mean for the future of arts and entertainment, and what the future may look like for artists. And if computers have finally begun to move into what was up until recently considered impossible for computers to ever perform, creativity, then what does it mean for all of us? For example, futurists are predicting that the total cost by 2018 of ownership for business operations will be reduced by almost 1/3, and again in 2018, predicting that business process workers will be reduced by 1/2 in digital businesses, and that there will be a major digital boost of 500% of jobs. And then in 2025, 1 in 3 jobs will be replaced by software or robots. Here's a more current example. When it comes to access to entertainment and information, the type of market saturation that used to take decades now takes years, if not months. YouTube is a great case in point. In 5 years, it went from 0 to 100 hours of content being uploaded every minute. In the next 2 years, it tripled that again to 300 hours per minute. Granted, a lot of that content is cat videos, but there's still hundreds of hours of reliable information and knowledge being uploaded every day. Most of you would have learned something on YouTube, and if you haven't, your children have. I, for one, learned how to groom my old English sheepdog on YouTube, learned to tie my first Devil Windsor knot, tie a bow tie, and even taken courses on complexity science. By the way, that screenshot on the left is the first ever video uploaded to YouTube by Jawed Karim. That was in 2005. 3 years later, he was one of the 3 founders who sold YouTube for $1.7 billion. And in 2016, YouTube is now up to 500 hours of content per minute. And that brings me to my real question. What does this all mean for learning? In particular, what does it mean for learning in organizations? At the current pace of change and the future being almost unknowable, can organizations truly act fast enough to deliver training for its people in time? Can it accurately predict the skills the organization will need in 5 years or even 3? And as young people become accustomed to learning online, they will increasingly start to ask why bother going to classroom. But don't take my word for it. For instance, Richard Dawson says at the end, it is the end of L&D teams being the sole owners of learning content and expertise. Instead, learning happens through the quality of networks and ease of access to shared information and networks. And Sebastian Bailey of the Mind Gym, long workshops and online courses are being replaced with short and distinct modules which learners can string together to form their own course at their own pace. And formal learning is dead, according to Peter Crush. Organizations need to create platforms where curriculum can be curated by internal online communities. And finally, a white paper by FutureThink states that there should be less emphasis on the training of competencies and more training on learning how to learn through social networking, open collaboration, and understanding external trends and applying them. And finally, I'd like to take you back to the late 1990s and the introduction of the digital camera into the mainstream. Back then, pretty much everybody was predicting the end for the professional photographer. But in 1999, when the sales of digital cameras started to really ramp up, the number of photographers started to increase, and they continued to increase even as the sales of digital cameras surpassed film cameras in 2003. And when the sales of smartphones with the built-in cameras took off in 2009, people predicted the death of photographers again. Well, not quite. We can't predict the future anymore, but by providing our people with the right tools, technology, and skills on learning how to learn, organizations can help their people not only survive in an uncertain future, but thrive in it, and maybe even take their organizations with them. Thank you.